If you live in the UK, you've probably heard of Lidl's Italian Week at least once in your life. But are they fake Italian products or is it stuff that Italians would actually eat? Let's find out together. If it's the first time you're watching one of my videos, hi, my name is Elisabetta. I'm from Sardinia, Italy, but I've been living in London for almost 9 years now. And in this channel, I try to show you the real side of Italy and especially the real side of Italian food. Also, if you have Instagram, I have an Instagram channel where I review Italian restaurants in London and Italian restaurants in Italy as well when I go there on holiday. So if you have Instagram, this is my handle. Please give me a follow if you'd like. And before we start with this review, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you love Italy and you want to see more about our food and culture. Now, the reason why I decided to do this video is that on Instagram I receive tons of messages of Italian Week every time that there is one on. And if you've never actually heard of Italian Week, it's a limited edition line of products that Lidl has every now and then. I would say about 3-4 times a year. This is what I've been told. And they basically have all these Italian products you wouldn't normally find. They are all from one brand. Italiamo is the brand. This is how you would recognize them. So every time that there is one on, I get asked on Instagram, do you want to do a video? Like, what do you think of Italian Week? Is it good? Is it worth buying? What would you buy from it? And Instagram doesn't give me enough time to do that. So I decided to do a long form video where I show you what I got and I'm gonna try those products as well. So we're gonna do a tasting together. As I speak, there is the oven heating up because I've already put one of the products of my shopping. I bought a bit of everything from savory to sweets to snacks, pizza, coffee. There is a lot. So let's start. Let's start from the savory. From a snack that I found and I was like, it's a flavor that could be interesting, but it really depends. And I'm talking about these crisps. So they look just regular crisps. Well, they are a little bit lattice crisps. What's that supposed to mean? Maybe you're gonna think that there's no point in buying crisps if they are Italian. I mean, we're not famous for crisps. The alarm went on because there's the pizza in the oven, which should be ready any time. I'm gonna keep it one more second just to be safe. So crisps. I was curious to try this because it says bruschetta flavor. I don't think I've ever seen bruschetta flavor crisps, but then we are up for trying everything today, so let's try them. They smell like tomato, paprika, basil, and they also look like they have these spices on top. Okay, honestly, they're just like very average crisps. So if you like crisps, then go for it. If you think that they are some sort of special Italian crisps, then don't get them because you're gonna get disappointed. I would give these a 7 out of 10. So yeah, they're nice. Second savory snack, this one is a bit more interesting in my opinion because it's an actual Italian snack. If you've never heard these are taralli. Taralli are a savory biscuit from Puglia. You can find them even smaller. They have olive oil, they are really friabili, come si dice. Quindi sono molto sbriciolosi. A me piacciono moltissimo. And Lidl's Italian Week always has taralli. You're always gonna find taralli. This time I decided to go for a different flavor. I think the last time I went for the fennel one. I've never tried the chili before. These are olive oil and chili. You can also find the fennel ones, the regular olive oil, but I was like, why not try something different? Okay, this is the bag, 500 grams, which I would say is pretty good, pretty generous, and this is what they look like. You know what? These are nice, but I was talking to someone from Puglia, which is the region where these biscuits come from. And she was like, yeah, I like the little ones, but they are not the real thing. Like, they're not as good. And after trying a couple of different ones, I can tell the difference. I can tell that these are a little bit dry, almost a little bit too hard to bite into. So usually when you have a tarallo, you would be like, you feel like you want more. Whereas here, like, you know, I need to drink some water, I need to drink something to be able to have another one because it's just really dry. So that said, I don't remember the price, but I remember they're really cheap. And this bag is huge. So I would give this 7.5 because of the price. Now, I don't want to keep you here forever, so I'm trying to go fast. We've got our third snack in the oven and we're gonna try it now. I don't know if it's it's warm enough. I don't want it to be cold in the middle. I have a feeling that it might be because I didn't check the time. I'm not sure that I put the right temperature and the right time in, basically. But this is the box in case you want to see it. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna post this video when the Italian week is still on. If you manage to buy some of these products, let me know in the comments what you buy. If you've already been to Lidl for the Italian week, let me know what you bought and let me know what you thought of it. And if you're not able to make it, then don't worry, because most of these products are in every Italian week. If you manage, like if you see this video in 3 or 4 months time, then probably you're gonna be able to find the same products. Anyway, calzone, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like. Not too different. Now let's cut it in half. Okay, and you can see it too. Volare, oh, cantare, oh. Ready for the cheese ball? No. Here is the filling. This is not what I expected. I don't know if it's, wait, okay, no, you can see a little bit, so yeah, maybe not what I thought. So it looks like it's warm enough. I don't think that it's a problem of not being fully cooked. It's just that the cheese doesn't melt as much as I thought. Like, I was expecting a proper cheese pull, let's say, but it's fine. Let's try it. Okay, it was my fault. I thought it was fully cooked inside, which I think it is, but the bottom is a bit soggy and a bit cold, which I guess is because I haven't warmed it up enough. It hasn't cooked enough. So probably that's the reason why the cheese didn't melt. I mean, from what I've tried, I can tell you, this is so nice. This edge is a bit warmer. This is so nice. This is something that you would actually find in Italy, in the frozen section. It's the same quality, 100%. This is probably gonna be my first 8.5 of today. I cannot give it a 10 because a 10 would be a bit too much, considering that I had it half cold, half frozen, so probably needs a little bit more, but I'm really happy with this one. Yes, would recommend. Now we have another product that needs to be warmed up. I'm going to take it out of the fridge and show it to you. These are cappelletti. Cappelletti con prosciutto crudo. What are cappelletti? Probably the easiest way to describe it would be as tortellini, but with a different shape and a different filling. They are from Bologna. I'm warming up the broth in the meantime. I'm gonna explain in a second. So they are fresh pasta from Bologna, Emilia Romagna. In that region they have all these different names for pasta, but they are more or less all the same thing. I mean, please, if you are from Bologna, don't take that personally. But yeah, it's basically filled pasta, and then there are all these different shapes and sizes, and then that's when the name changes, depending on the shape and on the filling as well. So these are cappelletti, and these are traditionally eaten with broth. So I had some chicken broth from yesterday. I'm warming it up now. I'm gonna put just a couple of cappelletti inside so that I can try it for the video, and then I'm probably gonna freeze it and eat it another day. While the cappelletti are cooking, I'm also putting another snack in the air fryer, the arancini. Now, before you say anything, I know that arancini are not usually like this. The Sicilian arancini, for reference, are a lot bigger. Sometimes they are like oval shaped. They're not this small and tiny. This is how you're gonna eat them in the UK though. Like if you go to an Italian restaurant, 90% of the time, this is what you're gonna find. Yeah, they are tinier, they're different, but I thought they look nice. I don't even know what they have inside. Let's see.
Breadcrumbs, mozzarella.
This is the list of the ingredients. It just doesn't make me feel great. I mean, it's a supermarket product, so I don't have high expectation. But when I see these kind of stuff, like when I see the ingredients list and it's got 300 different ingredients inside and none of them is actually readable, like I don't even know what these things are, that's when I think, probably it's not that healthy, is it? So, the tortellini are ready, the arancini are in the air fryer. So in the meantime, we are gonna try, did I say tortellini? I said tortellini, it's fine. Because in my head, they are the same thing. The cappelletti are ready. As you can see, I made myself a very small portion because I know that I wouldn't be able to finish them all. Let me show you closer. Are they cooked though? They are al dente. This is what they look like. Yeah. I put a little bit of broth, and we usually add Parmesan, Parmigiano Reggiano on top. But first, I'm gonna try them without. Okay, I don't know what's going on today, but it's the second time I'm cooking something and it comes out undercooked. So this was the reason of my face earlier when I tried the first cappelletto. And now I cooked them a little bit longer. They should be ready. I know that I'm gonna burn myself. Still How many minutes are you supposed to cook? I mean, the pasta itself is cooked. It's not hard. But the filling is a bit, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's got anything to do with the cooking. I don't think it's that. What can I say? I had tortellini, what was it? 2 days ago. They were tortellini that I got from Bologna last time I went there. So they were like the proper filling and they taste amazing. Overall, you could still taste the filling of the tortellini. It was really nice, but these are not the same thing. So I can taste the difference a lot. I just feel like they don't taste like much. Usually the filling itself is like packed with like different flavors. Yeah. Oh no, not that great. 6 out of 10. Now we are gonna try some cheese. Now this looks like a very basic white cheese. It probably is. Well, no, I'm not sure. I've never had it. It's Provoletta, which is soft melty cheese that we use for sandwiches. It doesn't have a very strong flavor. I'm not expecting anything extraordinary. So you see, it comes in slices. They also had the actual Provola. Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought it was slightly different. This is what it looks like. The texture is really chewy, not in a good way, and the flavor takes a while to actually kick in. Like the first bite that you give is not immediate. I would say it's probably good if you want to use it for like savory cakes, maybe like savory pies or frittata, like eggs, if you want to put it on top of eggs, not to have as a cheese for aperitivo, for example. Because if you try it like this, it's basically tasteless, and I'm not a fan of the texture. So yeah, for me this is a 5 out of 10. I'm sorry. So this is the other one I was waiting to try, and it's completely frozen. I don't know why. No, it's not. It's not frozen. It's actually warm. Does it have cheese in the middle? Or so it's got this filling. It's not really like, it doesn't have a lot of cheese. I would say it's got something white in the middle. It's supposed to be mozzarella. It looks like, you know, it's super hot, so I'm guessing that it's ready. It's not. It needs a couple of more minutes. Okay, we should... 1 second. Like, they should be ready now. I had to... Well, obviously, I cut them in half and I put them back in the air fryer because they were already in half. So this is what they look like now. But the cheese is definitely ready now. Oh. Today, everything is either too cold or too hot, to the point where I just burned myself again. Allora, chiamare questi arancini un'offesa agli arancini veri. Siamo onesti. Però, it's a full bag. I don't know, I think it's got like 20 or 30 arancini inside. Like, it's got many arancini inside. And it's really cheap. Now, the coating itself is completely different. Like, it's got nothing to do with the arancini. On the other hand, the heart of the arancino is actually nice. I think it's got spinach and mozzarella inside. That's nice. I don't think that I would be able to have that many of these. With one, I'm probably fine. Like, I'm not too happy about it. So, should you buy this or not? The answer is, it depends on what your standards are. If you know arancini, if you've been to Sicily and you've tried the real thing, then you're not gonna be happy. But if it's your first time and you're like, okay, I'm curious to, you know, try the arancini, maybe you cannot find them in your city, maybe, you know, you just want to have a first taste of it, then there's probably something that you can go for. Or if you forget that they are arancini, you can just call them rice balls and probably you're gonna get less disappointed. There are some things that I'm not gonna try because it would take a whole dish basically to try them. Some of them is the besciamella, but I recommend this. I've had it so many times and it's much better than the bechamel you would find in any other store here. It's perfect for lasagna. Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You can just warm it up and then you make the layers. The layers. So this is a really good one. I'd recommend. I think that we have some more savory to try. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So I got some porchetta from LIDL as well, from the Italiano. I'm usually not a big fan of pure meat confezionata, cioè when you go, there's a quick storytelling. If you go to Italy and you want to buy a meat, let's say porchetta, prosciutto, you wouldn't really buy that from the supermarket. So you would either go to a shop that sells only that, or you would go to the specific section of the supermarket where they have the big pieces of meat, like they have the whole thigh, or, you know, they basically cut the prosciutto or they cut the mortadella, whatever you ask, they're gonna cut it, slice it in front of you, put it in a fresh paper, and then you can basically eat it fresh. Whereas here, obviously, usually, like, you don't really find it unless you go to an Italian shop. So I'm not usually a big fan because the taste is very different. But I was like, okay, fine. I'm not gonna eat that much porchetta otherwise, so I might as well try it. So I'm just gonna have a little slice. Okay, so the smell isn't actually bad. Usually for supermarket meats, the smell isn't that great. Here it smells close to what you would get in a salumeria, so this is a good sign. Probably should have this with a piece of bread, but you know what, when you have it on its own, you can actually taste it more. I just want to, you know, taste of it. Okay, so this is the amount. Can I say I'm not a fan? I'm not a fan. This is, I don't know, it's really plain compared to how it should be. It's usually like a more complex flavor. Like you put it in your mouth and you can taste the herbs, you taste a bit of the smokiness of the meat. This is like, it's salty, but it's not savory, if that makes sense. Like it's got a lot of salt, like you can taste the salt, but then it doesn't have much depth in terms of flavor. I don't know how to describe it, but what I know is that it's probably not exactly what you would try in Italy. The closest in terms of it's affordable for sure, but I don't know, 5 out of 10 probably is what I would give to this product. Sorry. Bye. Actually, I don't know where I was going. I have to put it back in the fridge. Now, next one. We are done with the savory now, and I think it's time for the sweets, which actually happen to be my favorite part. Well, this is how it's always been. Like, I've always been a big fan of sweet stuff, but now it's kind of changing, and I don't know if I'm gonna prefer the savory or the sweet. We'll see. Which one do you prefer, by the way? Do you prefer sweet or savory? Let me know in the comments, and let's continue with the video. So, this is from today's shopping. I didn't see it the first time, and I was like, okay, it's actually interesting. So they call it Sfogliatine glassate, puff pastries decorated with cocoa cream on top. I wouldn't know how else to call them. This is basically puff pastry. The translation would be sfoglia, so pretty much what it's written in the box. They are a pretty big box. I think it's time. So this is how they look like. They're just like small puff pastry biscuits. They look similar, like if you see them like this, they probably look like savoiardi. Yeah, obviously without chocolate, but they're not like savoiardi at all. So don't use them for tiramisu because you're not gonna get the result you want. These are actually something that I could eat for a while. I mean, it's not overly sweet. It's small, so you can have like a little bit. Let's say, you know, you have a coffee, you can have a little bit of this. It's a nice product, you know? It's very well balanced. So this is a yes for me. I would give it a 7.5 because it's like puff pastry, so it's not overly complicated. You know, when I do these tastings or when I buy food for videos, I usually then do a dinner with my friends and we share all this stuff, or sometimes I give them stuff. I'm like, you know, who wants this or that? I would never be able to finish them on my own, so I prefer to share them. But this is one of the things I would actually keep for myself because it's a nice flavor overall. So yes. Now, this is one of the products that I'm actually more curious to try. And if you're Italian, you probably know why. Fior di cacao, this is how they called it. But actually, this product has a different name. We can say in very simple words that LIDL has copied this product. Well, this is more like, you know, I don't want to accuse them. They got inspired by an Italian biscuit brand called Pan di Stelle, which actually I have at home. So what I'm gonna do is a very quick comparison of the two. I don't know if it's gonna taste the same. I think it was cheaper, whereas the Pan di Stelle, even in Italy, they are more than €2. I'm sure of that. So let me just grab, here they are, and we're gonna do a comparison. Well, first of all, you can see that the shape is literally the same in the picture. Vabbè. Ok, ce l'abbiamo fatta, raga. The smell isn't the same. I can already tell. When I open a pack of Pan di Stelle, it's like, you just feel this. You can already taste the biscuit even before trying it. Just like the smell gives you an idea. This one doesn't smell that great. Oh, but yeah, this is a lot better. Now, the design. Let's take one and let's take the other one. I would say they are pretty similar. Let me show you. So, well, they're almost identical. Like if I look at them from here, like from the camera, they're almost identical. But is the taste gonna be the same? This is the LIDL one, and this is the original one. Let's try the LIDL one first. you know, there's a very thin line between the two. Like, unless you've been eating pan di stelle for many years, which I personally, I have, like, they are one of my favorite Italian biscuits. So I tried a bit of both and they just don't taste the same. And you would think, you know, how easy it is to copy like a chocolate cookie recipe. Like, you wouldn't think that it's that hard to imitate the flavor and to copy it and make it exactly the same, but it's actually harder than I thought. So I don't know if it's the flavorings or if it's the ingredients or if it's just like, I don't know, maybe they couldn't really copy the exact same recipe. They had to do it slightly different. I don't know what it is, but I know that they don't taste the same. So I think I'm gonna stick to the original, guys. By the way, if you want to go for a cheaper option, then I would say they are close, but they're not the same. So yeah, and even like, you know, the smell, it really reminds me of protein powder, like chocolate protein powder. You know, that overly sweet smell that chocolate protein powder has, something like that. I would probably give this a 6.5. We are towards the end of the video, but please stick with me till the end because there are some great products. Probably the product that everyone is getting, probably because it hasn't always been there since the beginning. It's like a new thing and it's getting very, very popular in the UK in general. So stick to the end because that's going to be the last one. Now, Cantuccini, you might know this product because it's like, well, pan di stelle is like, it's something that you would eat as a kid. It's like that specific brand that produces them. It's not like a typical Italian biscuit. It's more like Freddo here, okay? Freddo? No, I think it's Freddo. It's like a childhood thing. Whereas Cantuccini are more like a classic, like a traditional biscuit that you would have with coffee. The original one is with Vinsanto and it's got almonds inside. Whereas this one is a chocolate chip one. So it's slightly different than the original. Quite a big bag, it's 300 grams. I'm always trying to open it far from the mic because my dear video editor Paolo asked me to be very careful with the audio, otherwise it's going to be a bit of an issue to edit, and I think this is really noisy on camera, so... Okay, now it's got... You know what I don't like about supermarket stuff is that they have these really strong artificial flavorings that make the smell really artificial, and this is what... Like there's some sort of aroma that I can smell and it really bothers me. No, non ci siamo. Perché the smell, the flavor, there is something that just doesn't really match with the original thing. It smells like orange a lot. It's very sweet. I would say the only thing is close to the original Cantucci is the texture. Cantucci tend to be very, very crunchy to a point where sometimes they could be a little bit less crunchy. And I don't know, they're too sweet. There shouldn't be the chocolate, there should be the almond. I don't know why they chose to make them with chocolate. Not a good product for me. So these are a 5, or actually they are a 4, so don't get this. I don't think they're worth it. You can get so many, like, message me on Instagram, send me a DM. If you want to buy the Cantuccini, I can tell you at least 5 places where you can get the proper Cantuccini. In London, in the UK, so don't worry. One more thing I wanted to show you, porcini. I'm not gonna try this because they're dried porcini, but if you like risotto, this is a very good option for risotto because you just have to put them in water, you wait a little bit, and then you can use them as normal. And they're a lot cheaper than fresh porcini, obviously. Now, I have some gelato in the freezer. Okay, so coffee flavored ice cream. This one is... I've already tried them, I'm not gonna lie. I tried it quite a few times. So if you haven't tried it yet, this is a really good ice cream. It's like a coffee flavored gelato. It's very, very creamy and like, it tastes a lot like coffee, I would say. It comes in this 200 grams box, so very easy to eat and to finish, I would say. You can probably finish it in one dinner. I'm gonna put a little bit in this bicchiere. Yeah, it's super creamy, look at this. Super creamy. Ooh, see, more or less. Maybe I did have to wait a little bit. I should have. Okay. This is my super tiny gelato cup for today. This is going back in the freezer. And here we are. So the thing I like about this ice cream is that there are these like pairs of chocolate and coffee on top, which gives it an extra crunchy texture when you eat it. Like it's not only like a plain creamy gelato, it's actually a little bit crunchy as well. So it's a bit more interesting with these chunks, let's call them, of coffee and chocolate. Yeah, just as I remembered. I like it because it's not overly sweet. 2 products left, but these are going to be the most interesting one. I have a feeling. I'm super excited. Like, these are the 2 things that, like, you know, when you go shopping and you buy that thing and you can't wait to get home. Well, it was kind of the same for me. The only difference is that I couldn't actually get back home and try them straight away because I had to do the video, so I had to wait. And eccoli qua. So pistachio cream, pistachio spread, and hazelnut spread, which isn't a Nutella spread. Like, it isn't like a Nutella thing, like chocolate and hazelnut. It's more like a white hazelnut cream. So I would say it's not the same thing. The one that I was the most excited about is the pistachio one, because pistachio spread is one of those things that have become a trend. It hasn't always been popular. Like, now you can find pistachio croissants, pistachio cakes, pistachio everything. And so I feel like Lidl wanted to kind of get involved in the trend, and they managed to make their own. And it's actually a very good price. And follow me on Instagram because I'm gonna do a cheap versus expensive review with cheap pistachio cream versus an expensive one, like a super expensive one. So make sure you follow me for that. And now I think I'm gonna grab, I don't know if it's a good idea, but I found some high protein like tortilla bread, like tortilla wraps, and I should have like half a wrap that I can, I don't know if do I always have to warm up? Can we enjoy hot or cold? Okay, I just want something to try with. By the way, this is also from Lidl and it's from their high protein range. I have my half piadina. I'm gonna cut it in half and I'm gonna put some pistachio cream on one side, some hazelnut one on the other, and we're gonna see what the best one is. So this is how it looks like when you open it. Like, I'm not expecting anything extraordinary for the price, but still, this is how it looks like. I don't know if you can see it, see. So it's creamy and solid, I would say. And should I add a little bit more? Yeah, let's add a little bit more. Okay, obviously I managed to make a mess and spread it in my hand instead. Yeah. Voila. So maybe eating it with the tortilla wrap wasn't the best idea because I couldn't taste the pistachios much. From what I taste, it was great. Now I'm gonna have a little bit on its own. I hope you can see the disappointment in my face because it's not even a pistachio spread. Like, it tastes like pure white chocolate and sugar. That's what it tastes like to me. I wouldn't personally buy this again. Pistachio flavored. Oh, okay, so wait, it's not a pistachio spread. It's a pistachio flavored spread, which, you know, isn't even the reality, right? Because it doesn't taste like pistachio, so it's not pistachio flavored. So this is like 3 out of 10, I would say. I'm sorry, just being real here. Bye. Second one, and actually last one. This is the last product of today's tasting. I'm not gonna waste another piece of piadina to have it because if it tastes as bad as the other one, I might as well just find out immediately. This is what it looks like, and this is the texture. It's a lot creamier, a lot smoother, and a bit more, yeah, it's less solid than the other one. And it's got 16%, no, not even. Hazelnuts, 6.5%. So it's not a hazelnut spread, we can say. You know what? It's very sweet. It's probably great for cakes, even as a croissant filling. Could be, but I don't know. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 because it's still better than the pistachio one. Alright guys, we are at the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't know if you like this format or not. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this format. And I also want to know whether you bought at Italian Week this time or the previous times. Have you ever found anything interesting? What's your favorite product from the line? I want to know your thoughts. So before I go, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's super important and it helps me creating more videos like this and taking you to all my daily adventures. So this is all from me. I'm gonna see you in the next video, which is coming very soon. Follow my Instagram for all the updates. Ciao!